4, 5,
five,
6. And then let me know when we're alive,
We're
boyo.
live.
We're alive? What?
That was fast.
It's episode 205 of The Platformers, a show about games and nerd culture. I am your host, Brian Barnett.
I'm Joshua Mobley.
I'm Chris Shriver.
Chris, you looked
I live.
dubious when I said the episode number.
Oh, I
Or
don't
were
know.
you
He's
thinking
like, I
about
don't
something
believe you.
else?
I was thinking about, do I want to get another L-shaped desk or do I want to get...
Tetris pieces, the
Yeah.
desk.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
I've been thinking about getting a new desk, but my desk is still working. So I'm like, why? You know?
If it's not a sit stand, I highly recommend it.
That is the move.
So
I would take
I
one.
will
but-
never go back.
I have
It
so
is
many other
convenient.
things right now to buy for this new house that I'm like, if I don't need it, I'm like, I'm not gonna buy that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Mm.
we gotta buy a new fridge. We gotta buy, dishwasher and
Oh, like all that adult shit.
all the things. So
Yikes.
Yeah.
it's like, the good thing is, because of reasons, like we have some money set aside specifically for these things, so it's
good.
not like it's eating into our like everyday finances or whatever, but it's still kind of like, oh, do I need a new
Yeah.
desk or a new monitor? It's like, nope, not really. So don't get it. Like, just wait, because I'm sure there'll be unforeseen things.
I've been doing that with games lately, honestly. So like
Oh, yeah,
Target right now.
I've been waiting.
Yeah, like Target and Amazon right now have like buy two get one free on a bunch of like new releases that came out. And I was like, Guardians of the Galaxy, Resident Evil Village, like all this stuff that I've kind of been like sitting on, and I can't bring myself to get it because I'm like, I have so much shit to play right now, and there's so much going on. It's like I might as well just wait
Yeah.
for them to get cheaper.
That's how I've been waiting on Tales of Arise, because I really want to play that. Got really good reviews. I haven't really like dug into a Tales game other than when I was at IGN, I helped cover Berseria when that came out, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
liked it, but I only played so much because it's work. You move on to the next thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you play 5 hours, and then it's like, we got the new thing. You got to move.
That
but
happened
I
to
haven't
me,
really
and
played one.
I was in the middle of like the ending of Far Cry 6, and they're like,
Yeah.
Call of Duty's out. We gotta
Yeah,
we
time
gotta
to
get
get
out.
out.
move. Yeah.
But I haven't really played one since like Tales of Symphonia on the GameCube.
Wow.
Which I really
Love that.
liked a lot, but I haven't played a lot of the Tales games. But Arise, I'm like, oh, this looks really cool, but I'm like super invested in all this Final Fantasy stuff right now, and also with the move, like I don't have tons of time to play tons of stuff, so I've been kind of just waiting. I'm like, I don't want to buy this for $60 and then not play it,
Yeah.
yet. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
like, I think around Black Friday, I'm like hoping it'll go on sale and I can snag it, because I'll have
Well, it's a Bandai
I'll
game. They
have
go on sale all the
vacation time, in December, so I'll actually have time to be like, oh, I want to actually dig into this. So
Everybody I
We'll see.
know who is playing it either for review or for coverage or something like that, like in the industry pre-release, they were all like super in love with it. And I was already like, my next JRPG, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play Scarlet Nexus is gonna be my next one. I haven't played anything since Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, and then before that, like FF7 Remake, and before that, I literally don't know what the last JRPG was that I played. And everybody that I was talking to had either sampled or had worked on both Scarlet Nexus and Tales of Arise. And the demo for Scarlet Nexus grabbed me way more than the Tales of Arise one. But universally, everybody is like, play Tales of Arise. It's really, really good.
I played the Scarlet Nexus demo, and I expected to really like fall in love with it, and after it was over, I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like,
I played
it.
as
I didn't dislike it. I just was like, there
feel
were
like it
things
just
about
didn't
it where I
hit.
was like, eh.
Yeah.
It didn't
the
hit
way
me.
I
It
wanted
didn't
to.
hit me the way I wanted it to. Yeah, I was kind of like, yeah, all right, this was
quick question,
fine, I guess.
because I think I've figured something out about myself about specifically Scarlet Nexus. Who did you play as in the demo?
The guy.
I did both.
Okay.
Oh, I only played the dude, and then because I just assumed it was the same, but I played the guy, and then was just
You
like,
were
eh.
not the same.
It's not.
Yeah, no, I played the demo as the guy and really, really liked it. And then when I started the main game, like because it's on Game Pass, I chose the lady, and I don't like how she plays at all. And I think you have to play fully like half the game as her, and I'm just like, eh. And so I kind of fell off of it after that. Even though like when I was playing as the guy, I like really liked it a lot. Like I was like, wow, this is like up there with maybe not quite the level of Final Fantasy VII Remake as far as like game feel, but like it's in the ballpark. Like I'm just like, this is really fast and fluid and feels really great to me.
Yeah.
Whereas like Tales of Arise just felt like kind of weird. Like I didn't get what I was doing. Like,
Well, it's a
I was
demo.
just,
I purposefully am not playing the demo. I was just gonna go in and
of Tales of Arise.
yeah, because like usually those demos they'll like put you a couple hours in or like don't really give you the gist, right? And they're just like, here's just a taste of it. I'm like, I just want to like play it. You know, I just want to go in and like go from the beginning and actually play it. So I'm not really gonna play the demo for that. I've been kind of holding off purposefully, but yeah.
Yeah. Also, they make you juggle like 6 characters or something.
Jesus.
And it's just like switch them in. Like, have you not played the Tales of Arise demo?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like you go into battle and you have like you choose one of the main characters. There's like again like Scarlet Nexus. There's 2 main characters, and you choose to play as either the pink-haired girl with the rifle, who's also the healer. Actually, I think you can play as any of the main characters. Now that I think about it.
In Symphonia, I know you could, and then if people plugged in if you plugged in 4 GameCube controllers, then someone could play everyone like their own person in the party. So like
that's awesome.
So like if I use Final Fantasy VII as an example, like if there was 3 players, then like the first player would be like Cloud, and then you could have like someone playing Tifa and someone playing Aerith, basically. But then the rest of the game was still single player, like normal, where it was just you running around doing stuff. But every time you got into battles, it was like you and other people could like play together.
I like that.
Which I think is
really
neat.
cool.
I think that's kind of a neat little idea. But
yeah, it's such a weird thing because like you would think because virtually all JRPGs are like party based, you would think that would be like a natural fit for like multiplayer co-op, but almost no games do that.
I figure they just don't. So the GameCube was they were trying a lot of stuff, but I figure it's just like people don't really want to sit there, you know, while one person's playing the game and then just occasionally they get to pick up a controller and play, right? So maybe it's not as fun. Whereas like if you do the like Wind Waker thing with the Game Boy, it's like, you know, that person has the map, but they also have like all this other information. So it's kind of like they're helping more. It's not like they're just sitting there, you know, watching cutscenes. So maybe it's partially that. I don't know.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to do more of that with like the Switch app or something, or like with a mobile app. Like it just seems like something they would be like, oh, if you're a Switch Online subscriber, you know, you get access to this thing in Breath of the Wild or whatever.
Oh my god. Do you guys remember that thing about the Division where they were going to have people rolling around as like the little drones, like scouting stuff out? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
No, not really.
It was like an
during the reveal
thing. Yeah.
For the first one?
I think for the first one.
Yeah.
No. I mean, that game changed
a lot
dramatically.
Yeah.
Like that game
when they were like when they did the demo and everybody was like really wowed because the guy was like next to the car and he like as he was keeping in cover he like put his hand up and like closed the car door gently and people were like, oh, what, you're interacting with your environment.
Was it the Division or was it Watch Dogs?
No, it was the Division.
It was the Division.
The Watch Dogs one was also not real, but I've heard that both of those trailers were not real.
Because remember, this was also the trailer that got a lot of backlash for like the party chat, which was like clearly scripted.
Yeah, when Ubisoft was still doing that.
There was a lady who was like, all right, I got this new piece of gear.
They're like wicked.
And there's another guy that's like, I'm gonna scout ahead, and then it's like this drone flies over. You know, and it's like very clearly not the way anybody talks to anyone else.
Yeah, you know, the closest that game ever got to emulating that trailer was the survival mode, which I still think is like
in the dark.
Maybe one of the no, they had a whole mode called survival.
Yeah,
and it was the best mode in the whole game. and it's not in Division 2, which is really frustrating
My
because I
old
wish it
boss,
was.
that was like all he did when they
Yeah,
released that.
so it was like
That's like when they took Firefight out of Halo. I was just like, what are you doing? This is literally my favorite part of
it's
this
back.
game.
It's back. Well, not in Infinite, but it's back in
It's in Master Chief Collection.
Master Chief Collection now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like the way it worked was it was almost like a battle royale mode, like right when that was happening, but they didn't call it that. But you basically were dropped into the entire city of New York was in a massive snowstorm, and you got dropped into it with just a pistol and like basically a hazmat suit, but it did not warm you. And you had like a temperature gauge, and you had a thirst gauge and hunger. And there were NPC like
how are you gonna eat and drink when you're in a hazmat suit?
Well, you weren't like you didn't have a helmet.
Oh, okay.
It was just
so
like
it's not a very good hazmat suit.
It was just like a rubber suit basically. But like I'm just making an I'm just saying an example because I don't know. But the idea was that you had to go find like shelter to warm up, and you had to like craft clothes, and you would kill enemies and take their guns, and they had like rarity levels and damage just like the regular game, and you would mod them. And you had to find food and like all this stuff. But the thing was that
it's like the Division cross the Long Dark.
Sure.
I don't know if you played that.
No. But the idea was that you needed to get to the dark zone, like to the middle of the dark zone, and get to a helipad, and then you had to extract. And if you got out, you got like all this loot in the rest of the game, but you also like got to be like, I won, right? But you would run into other players. There was like 25 other players, squads or whatever, but you could do it solo also. And if you ran into people, you could like talk to them and be like, want to team up, and like you could do the rest of the thing cooperatively. Or you could literally kill them and take their like granola bars and their water and stuff, because you're like, I'm thirsty as shit, and this guy's got soda, I'm pretty sure, so I'm gonna kill him.
That's a pretty looking Nature's Valley you got there.
So what would often happen would be like
it was so good.
You'd get like one guy versus two guys, and then or I'm sorry, 4 guys versus 2 guys, and the 4 guys would be like, we can take him, and then they would just, and that's kind of how it went.
We would generally avoid people. But if I saw someone and they aimed at me, I was just like, nope. I'm like, I'm taking you down. But
you gotta
die. That mode was so good, and I miss it so much. And people have been asking for it for like years in the Division 2. They're like, please bring back survival mode. And they're like, oh, maybe, like, and it's like, no, come on, like, please. It was so good, and I realized like I don't know how you would do it in like Washington, right? But then they had that whole expansion where they went back to New York anyway. So I'm like, just do the New York one. Just do the snowstorm. I really don't care. I just want it back because it was so good. Like,
Polar Knights in the chat just said, "Sweet Jesus, it's like the perfect evolution of beards on this show."
Yeah, I need to trim mine back a little bit.
Small. I had no idea.
Then medium, and then large.
I had no idea yours got that dense.
Yeah, Well, I was trying to thicken it, so I haven't like buzzed it or anything, but. I saw my mom this weekend. She was like, "You need to clean that up. You look homeless." I was like, "Yeah," because I need to even it out. But yeah, I was trying to thicken it up.
I'm leaving mine go, I think, until the wedding, and then when I go to the barber, she's gonna be like, "What the hell happened to you?
What have you done?
Fix it. Make me pretty again."
So I shaved mine in anticipation of cutting my hair, actually, because it's getting. I don't know if you can see it. It's getting pretty long. But pretty long for recent me. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But then it just didn't. We just didn't end up getting my haircut. So I'm just a shorn boy.
I do need a haircut. It's been a while.
Yeah, I was gonna.
How long is your hair without the beanie?
It's like about here.
Holy crap! Yeah.
It looks bad is the problem. So if I go like this, I'm like. I look terrible.
You're doing the old
it's all in my eyes.
Snape. You could do it with a man bun though. I'm surprised you don't do that.
I did it once as a joke, and it looked really bad. I looked really
just
stupid.
Want to look like Wesley LeBlanc.
I look better with the beanie. Okay, my wife made me this beanie, and I rock it.
Oh, it looks
all
good.
the time. Yeah,
that's cool. Good job, Nachor.
She's good at things.
There you go.
Yeah, go figure.
Unlike me.
Okay, so I got a couple of things that I want to talk about. We were talking about this before the show, so I figure we'll just this is what I've been working on. Let's just blast through it real quick, and then we'll get to some more, not more interesting thing. I mean, I guess technically more interesting things, but I want to talk about Call of Duty first, because I played through this. I attended the digital review event, and I played through Call of Duty Vanguard, and I really enjoyed it. I typically don't go for like history games. Like I'm more of a
shooters.
Yeah, like if I'm gonna play a shooter, I'd rather play one that's like near future, distant future, or like fantasy. I like to use games to experience things that I can't in real life. Whereas like I could go find all of these guns and shoot them, you know. Granted, I can't fight in World War II against the Nazis, so like if you want to take that tack, you know, whatever.
Sure.
But like I'm always more interested in like looking into the future and like, you know, if I was gonna play with an assault rifle, I would rather it be like Resistance, where like the bullseye, where like, hey, I can tag an enemy with this, and then I can shoot around corners or like fire wildly, and the bullets will home in. Like that's really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Or Titanfall, where it's like I've got this giant mech and like the smart pistol or something.
So
you know,
before you continue,
sure.
there's a series of games that it made me think of it when you were like, I don't like playing historical games, that were on the Xbox 360 from the History Channel that I never
Oh my
played,
god.
but I
I remember these.
I always wanted to play these. So there's like
They're bad.
Civil
play them.
War, A Nation Divided. That's one. There's Civil War Secret Missions, which looks like that. Yeah, but if
Secret
you look
missions
up,
like the Harriet Tubman or whatever
no
mission
idea.
where she went and freed a bunch of people.
Yeah, no idea. But
I would play that.
that might actually be.
Dude, watch the freaking drunk history on that. It's
I have.
outrageous.
Wow, there's a lot of these actually, and they're all Activision games.
Of course they are.
I bet they cost like nothing to make, and they made barely anything, but they
Yeah.
probably made enough, right?
It's some like secondary studio that built it on the Call of Duty 3 engine.
Yeah.
I may have to look into getting some of these. Anyway.
Oh my goodness,
Anyway.
Chris's brand is slumming it with games that he should not be wasting his time playing.
Yeah.
That's his-
Goddamn right.
that
He's
is
like,
his
I've
brand.
spent all this time planning this wedding, and I only have so much time. Time to play secret missions of the Civil War.
I built a
Time to
PC
play-
that has every
Time to play
Nintendo game
Nickelodeon.
ever.
Time to play Nickelodeon Kart Racers Part 2.
If I don't, who
Streets.
No one, and maybe that's for the best.
Maybe that's fine. Yeah.
But yeah, so I obviously I'm playing it for work. I'm writing the IGN
Forgot
guide
we were talking about Call of Duty.
for Call of Duty Vanguard, but it is like roughly 5 to 8 hours. And I had a blast with it. I had a really good time with it. I bounced off of previous like World War II, World War One shooter games. Like I think we played back when Marty was on the show. We played that like Verdun game or something like that. Like
Yeah, that was actually, they gave that away, I think, on the Epic Game Store a little while ago.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I recognized that kind of like popped up, and I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've bounced off of a lot of those games, but I really, really enjoyed Vanguard. Granted, I had to play it for work, but I had a really good time with it. An interesting thing is it feels a lot like an old Xbox 360, PS3 era shooter, because there's no collectibles and there's no choices to be made. There's no like branching paths or anything. It is just
I like that.
a linear shooter. It's a
Personally,
linear
I get sometimes annoyed when there's like collectibles in certain games where they don't need to be there. They're just there to like facilitate achievements and stuff, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't need this, man. Like, just let me play the thing that
You
I'm
have
playing.
a story you want to tell? I get to shoot things? Cool.
yeah, exactly. And that
Yeah,
that's,
keep me on the road, right?
Yeah.
That is literally what this game is. It just keeps moving you along. It's very breezy. It's a very good. It visits like a lot of different areas, like, you know, the Pacific theater, you know, and the European theater, and like different parts of it. You know, you're in Russia, you're in, you know, Germany, you're in, you know, a bunch of places. You know, you're in the Battle of Midway and other stuff like this. It's cool. It's really cool. the gunplay feels really good, which like I know is probably not a surprise to people who are big into Call of Duty games, but I've often found like these World War II games just kind of feel heavy or clunky in a way that I don't find enjoyable. Whereas like this game, I think feels like really good. Like it's you're definitely making deliberate choices, and some of the guns are like wildly inaccurate and stuff like that. But like I really like some of them. Like the scout rifles you get, the sniper rifles you get, I was like, man, this feels really good. Like even playing with a controller, like playing with an Xbox controller on PC.
They have
Like
the M1 in it.
it just felt really good. The M1, I don't
Like an
know.
M1
They have the
M1 Garand.
they have the
however you say it.
KAR-87 is one of my favorites.
Okay.
Then they have the Type 11. They have the MP40.
Yeah.
They have the SG-44, which is probably my favorite gun in the game. And like you'll pick them up and they'll have like different attachments on them. It'll be like SG-44 fast mags, or like I think it's Sten or Gren, something like that. It's like a top-loading banana clip like gun.
So
that
they're like
the
the
machine
outfitted multiplayer guns, but in single player. That's what you're saying.
maybe you can also get like a bunch of like other guns. Like they have the Mauser, like and then they've got like the machine pistol, like the Han Solo inspiration.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A bunch of that other stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, they've got the guns are really good. Like I really like it. There were almost no times in the game where there wasn't a gun around that I really loved.
Yeah.
And yeah, like they give you a lot of opportunities to play in different ways, like whether you're sniping or whether you're assaulting or stuff. Each of the characters has their own like special ability, which I thought was interesting because you bounce back and forth between them during missions. So like one of the guys is the leader of the squad, and he can like they'll give you like little opportunities to like focus fire people, like Star Wars Bounty Hunter, or not Star Wars Bounty Hunter, Star Wars Republic Commando, where you'll be like, yo, open this door. Hey, throw a grenade in there. Hey, like attack these guys that are coming in this way. And there's another guy, who can carry 4 different types of explosives, so you can always be chucking stuff at people. There's somebody else who can climb up walls in places that other people can't, and like can move really quickly when they're crouching through like tunnels and stuff. And so like that's what they're about. And there's like other stuff. There's another dude who can like enter like a battle trance, like focus mode, where like pulling the left trigger like basically auto targets somebody, and then you can just like squeeze off a few rounds, kill them, hit it again, it'll like pivot, it'll like automatically aim to somebody else. It's pretty cool. Like it's each character has kind of their own flavor and stuff, and it's a cool story, and the villains are good. So
Nice.
it's like it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with it. So I've bounced off of other World War I, World War II games, and this one I really, really enjoyed. So
Good deal.
having a good time with it. I'm probably gonna jump into multiplayer and maybe zombies. I don't know.
Zombies is hard without other people, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Oh
one of
yeah,
those
zombies
games-
is brutal by yourself.
Yeah, it's like you really can't get very far. Or at least I've never been able to. Whenever I used to.
I'm sure there's people out there that have
Yeah.
done like solo zombie runs and stuff. But yeah, like even with playing with my normal kind of game group, which is my wife and 2 other friends that we have, I don't think we ever actually completed a single level. We were playing like the same one over and over again because there's like secrets in them, and there's weird objectives and keys, and you don't know what door they go to, so you're like trying to go find them, and then you're trying to set up for like this specific wave is like really challenging, and you need to get to this one spot so it's like easier and stuff. So it's a lot of stuff like that, which is really fun because we loved like trying to figure out like the puzzles and stuff in there.
Yeah.
But there were a couple things that made it a little I don't know, unforgiving, I would say. But it is a fun experience. It's almost like raiding in a weird way. It seems like
actually, yeah.
it seems like it's just going to be you standing around shooting zombies, but it's totally not that. Like there's so much other things going on in the levels that go on, and there's like lore and all kinds of weird stuff. I don't really care about the lore, but like solving the puzzles and like taking things and figuring out like, oh, if we do this like early on like wave 5, we'll get this gun early, or we'll get this thing early, and that'll help us and stuff like that. I like that experience a lot.
Yeah,
But yeah, I wouldn't do
there's-
that with I wouldn't do that if I wasn't playing with my wife and friends.
Yeah, and I think that there's some sort of crossplay between it. I would need to look into this because I think everybody else I know that's covering this game is playing it on PlayStation, and I got it on PC. But I think there might be.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be
crossplay in
surprised.
something.
I know they did that. Isn't Warzone crossplay at this point?
Warzone is and has been, I think, since launch.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Call of Duty has a crossplay and stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, and even though there's no collectibles or intel in the campaign mode, there is in Zombies because I know that they really go into. They get into it. There's some stuff going on.
Yeah.
Which is cool because they actually tease that in the campaign.
Oh, wow.
Like because like you're going against Nazis and like this is one of their side projects.
Yeah.
Like what's going on with the zombies, which is cool. But yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say. I enjoyed it. I definitely would have given it a more generous score. Well, you know what? On second thought, maybe I wouldn't have because I did run into like some technical issues, but that was like pre-launch and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, they
It was
don't
a
have.
little- it
You're
was a
not
little
playing
rough.
with day one patch and stuff, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a little hard to say like this is the experience you're going to have, right? Because they might not. Like
Which
that day one
isn't really
patch
what
comes out
reviews
and like
are,
that
yeah.
problem, that problem you've been having is suddenly not a problem, right? So
Yeah.
um,
But I had a lot of fun with it. And the other
Nice.
game that I got into this week is Inscryption, but we can save that for a little bit later after we talk about what you fine chaps have been up to.
yeah. I have a couple things. I don't know what Chris has.
I have Mario Party and Forza Horizon 5.
Oof. I want to talk about. Wait, Josh, what do you have?
I have Pikmin Bloom and then
Oh shit.
Spin Rhythm XD, which is a Chris Shriver game if I ever played one.
I need to put this on my wish list so I don't.
And then just like general Back for Blood / Final Fantasy updates that are quick. But
Okay, I want to hear about Mario Party.
I'm gonna start off by
Brian,
saying
Brian leaning back on his throne. I wish to hear
I want dance
of
peasants.
Mario Party.
I will start out by saying if you're on the fence about buying a Mario Party, playing a Mario Party, this is the one to buy. This is it. This is the
Yeah?
one.
That's what Mitch told me.
This is the one that, like, if you have a Switch and whether you're a veteran or it's your first time playing Mario Party, this is the one that you need to play. It is the
Hot
most
damn.
excited that I've been about Mario Party since Mario Party 4 on the GameCube. Like,
Wow.
Which you've mentioned recently. Like,
yes.
And how does it feel to have Mario Golf come and go, Mario Tennis Aces come and go, and then have Mario Party hit?
I mean, it feels very good. It feels very good because, like, Nintendo's doing this weird thing with the Switch where some of their, like, tentpole franchises, I think, from, like, the N64 era and things like that they're making, like, these ultimate versions of them to the point where
Smash,
I'm like, what
Mario
else?
Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, Mario Party, Breath of the Wild, like
Metroid.
Like they're taking all these franchises and they're just like bringing them up to these levels, or they're making like greatest hits compilations to the point where I'm like, what else do you do? Like, you've already made everything that I want, or we're getting to that point where Nintendo's running out of things for Chris Shriver, and that's a little scary. Like you're not
gonna have things to ask for.
No, I know. Like, Jess is in that position. Like she got her Crash Bandicoot and Spyro and Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 10. Like, everything she's getting Chocobo Racing next year. Literally every childhood game that she has ever played and obsessed over has come and gone and been remade, or is about to. The last one is about to drop. But all that being
the last
said,
one that I have for Nintendo is probably just like bringing Tetris Attack to the modern era.
which that
I'm trying to think of like
someone will
whatever.
reskin that and resell it, I'm sure.
I mean, if Spirit Swap comes to Switch, there it is.
Right.
But I don't know if it is. It's
Like,
on itch right now, but
For-
yeah.
For me, like, it's at this point it's Mario Galaxy 2. That's about it. Like,
Oh, no. Yeah, 3D Land. Bring 3D Land to Switch.
yeah. but which
But
like
yeah.
I still have the 3DS, so it's like it's not that big a deal. But I get what you mean.
It's just uncomfortable. It's just like
Yeah.
I want to get it on something where I can like play with this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Mom Jump's asking, does that mean Switch Contra is coming soon? Contra came. It's out. I don't know. Contra Hard Corps, right? Isn't that game like 10 out of 10? It's great.
Hard corpse.
Isn't that or hardcore? Whatever.
Hardcore.
Whatever.
It's rigor mortis.
Yeah.
It's a hard corpse.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you read over and over again, and you never actually hear anybody say out loud. So your brain's just like, this is the word.
Which is so dumb because it's a pun.
I know.
Hardcore.
Mario Party.
I'm surprised no one
Superstars.
made it sooner, to be honest.
Yeah.
And speaking of other stuff, Ocarina of Time 3D. Come on. These are all the same complaints.
Yeah.
Get stuff from the 3DS onto the Switch.
No, but you know what's
please.
funny though? Like now that I have the Botacera PC, I'm kind of like,
whatever.
I have like the Master Quest release on the GameCube. Like I have that in the living room. I can play it whenever I want. Like it's all there.
Modded the emulated versions of the 64 to look even better than the 3DS version.
They have. They're called HD texture packs, and if you type in any old Nintendo game and type in the words HD texture packs after them, you will fall into the deepest YouTube algorithm that you possibly can. Because there's so much to see.
That's because people love these games because they're good.
Yeah.
But yes, Mario Party
Superstars. It's 100 of the best mini games in the Mario Party franchise. And
so many mini games.
What's really cool is the way that it's the presentation of it. So like they'll introduce you to a level that could be from like Mario Party 1, and it'll start out and be like, long ago, like on Yoshi's Island or Yoshi's Tropical Island, the Yoshis would gather for this festival, and they have all these little like screenshots of the original Mario Party on the N64, and it looks all shitty, and then it like they go through all the screenshots, and then it like pans out, and like everything runs at 60 FPS and looks just so good in this game. Like the presentation is unbelievable. And the like all the animations are very good. Yoshi's the cutest he's ever been, which like is such a weird thing to say. But like he has these little
cutest
movements
he's ever been.
that like something happens to Jess and I just look at each other. We're like, oh my god, like
oh my god, look at him.
Look at him. Oh. But all that being said, like if you've never played a Mario Party, like spoiler alert, prepare to get fucked over because that's what happens in this game. Like
I think the only time I've ever played Mario Party was when we were hanging out with you.
Oh wow. Yeah, I mean it's completely a game of chance. Like
I played it growing up.
Outside of the mini games that you play, and whether or not you've played them before and you're good at them or not good at them or whatever, there's a lot that can change the outcome of the game by the end of it. Like there's not a whole lot of strategy other than like just don't suck at the mini games. But like outside of that, it's just like, hey,
I'm gonna give you the best advice I ever gave you about Mario Party. Just don't suck at the mini games.
Don't be a loser.
Like your father.
But like outside of that, there's really not a whole lot that you can do. It's just like you are rolling the dice and like you're letting the gods take control of your fate, and like you hope that something good comes out of it. But it's a ton of fun, especially whether you're playing online with people. I haven't done it myself. We've played with a couple people either at our place or we went to a friend's apartment over the weekend and played. But it's just been a great time. The computer is exceptionally difficult to beat.
Really?
At times. I don't know why. Like we put them on normal. Like the game was ending and we had like 2 turns left. We were like, is Donkey Kong gonna win? Like I think he might win. And then with that, he skirted out right at the last turn, and we were all kind of like, oh, well that's a shame. We tried.
You're like, well,
guess I'll go home.
Crushing disappointment.
Yeah. But it's super fun. Like I'm sure a lot of it's nostalgia for me because like a lot of these are mini games that I haven't played since the N64 because they've been trapped on that system. So, and then they do a good job of showing you like this is from Mario Party 1 or 2 or whatever. And they really have picked, some of the ones that you like if you've played Mario Party games throughout the series, and you think of like, is that one there? It probably is. Like Facelift is there, Crazy Cutters, Tug of War. These are all
A lot of
anybody
things
who's
that
played
don't
Mario
make me-
Party is like, holy shit! Like everything is here. I really hope they add content. Moving forward, whether it's
Sora from
characters
Kingdom
or-
Hearts is in there.
No. They only have, I think, 12 characters. So it would be nice to see like some of the ones that they've added into like Mario Party Superstar or Super Mario Party. That was the first Switch one. They had like Monty Mole and Dry Bones and stuff like that.
Wait, this is the second Mario Party game on Switch?
So Super Mario Party is the first Mario Party game on Switch. That one is very Joy-Con focused. Like it's very motion control.
Oh, this is when
Yeah.
we were still doing like
I think
one,
that's
two,
the one
Switch
that
and
I've
shit.
seen.
Yeah. So this one, it's
Wait, so
all-
what is this one called? That one's called Super Mario Party.
this one
Even
is-
super, more super.
This is Mario Party Superstars.
Mm,
But
Almost the same.
almost the
Almost-
same,
almost the
but
same,
not.
yeah.
But not.
Yeah.
Not
It's
quite.
no, but it's entirely based around the idea that like you can play in handheld mode, because Super Mario Party, it was like, well, you got to crack your Joy-Cons off and blah, and like if you had a Switch Lite, you were fucked. Like you just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
This
Ugh.
one.
Which now we do, so.
Yeah. This one you can play in handheld mode, you can play docked, whatever you want to do, but it's all controls with the controllers as a normal game would. None of that motion control BS that like half the Mario Party franchise is plagued with. There is no car that you drive around with like a Mario
Well, I
Party
mean,
game.
it's easy because it's like, well, we have a new way of controlling something, right? And then they're just like, what game can facilitate like that kind of
Mario
stuff?
Party. Yeah.
Mario Party. So they just
And Link's
Toss it in there.
crossbow training.
Yeah.
yeah.
Harry says cuter than
Metroid
Yarn
Prime.
Yoshi, blasphemous.
Yeah,
No,
that's tall order. Cuter than Yarn Yoshi?
He's cuter, I'm telling you. He does this little
Wow.
he does
Mm.
and it's really cute. Now if you
I'll
have a
take it under
Switch,
advisement.
you should absolutely play it. It's definitely more fun with other people, but even if you have one other person and you're just like, there was a night, the first night Jess and I played it, where Birdo was about to win, and it was like her and Birdo were neck and neck, and I was in last place, and I looked at her and I was like, I don't care if I don't win, but Birdo can't win, so like
Birdo
whatever
cannot
we
win.
gotta do to sabotage this situation. And then, like
Nice.
there's these weird alliances that you just generate through that game. It's just, I don't know, it's fun. It's a kooky little good weekend Saturday night game.
Good
Nice.
stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'll probably pick that up because everybody's talking about it, and I know people are getting together to play it. So
And people are like still like, it seems like it'll be one of those games that like every now and then it'll be like, you want to play Mario Party like online? Fuck it, yeah, why not? Like it's very easy.
and
to
we
just
could
hop
organize
into.
something. Sure.
Yeah. Like I know the
is
IGN
fun.
crew's been playing almost every night. Mitch has been like,
Yep.
rallying people for like 2 weeks straight.
It's ridiculous. I'm just like, dude, are we gonna play Guilty Gear or Dragon Ball or something?
He's like, never
He's like,
again.
no, I'm rolling
I'm
the
taking,
dice.
I'm taking, I'm
was
taking this to Evo.
It was literally back. Yeah, it was literally Back for Blood for a couple of days, and then it's like Mario Party.
Yeah.
and that's like
Oh,
just taking over.
It's great.
Back for Blood, the replayability is just not there, unfortunately.
I hope it gets there.
Did you guys all see? Do you have anything else to say about Mario Party? Because that is a pretty good segue to Back for Blood.
No, just get it. You should, if you have a Switch, you should get it. It's great.
Just
Yeah.
get it.
Just get it.
Just
Put
get
it on the box.
So
Try
it
73,
definitely-
just get it.
So it definitely gets your Catch the Fever award.
Oh fuck yeah! It's like one of the best. It's one of my favorite games on Switch. But like, I don't know. I'm a sucker for a good
where
Mario
does it
Party.
rank? Where does it rank on your? We are very close to the end of the year. Where is it ranking on your Game of the Year list?
Oh, it's like top 3.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I haven't played much
Or-
this year.
Yeah, we're I mean that topic is gonna come up later in the
Yeah,
show.
I'm gonna have to look at what I've actually done. I've played a lot of old games this year.
I definitely going down and using the GG app to track the games that I've beaten and the games where I finish it, and I'm like, that's one of my favorite games I played this year. Add it
Yeah.
to the list, and now I can actually just pull up the list and just be like, here's literally a list of all the stuff that I played and loved this year. So when the time comes for the Game of the Year discussion, like I am ready.
Brian,
But yeah, did you guys see what?
Hitman 3 is $24 on Xbox right now.
That game is awesome.
I can't do it. Anyway,
that is in my top 3.
I believe it. It looks very good.
It's really good. And this is the first year that I got into Hitman, as we talked about.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Very, very good.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Did you guys see that thing where like Back 4 Blood came out and then Left 4 Dead 2 had like way more concurrence on Steam? Did you see that?
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Because people played it, and I'm assuming.
But how many of those people were playing it on
buy
Game Pass though? And those people are not being tracked by Steam, right?
Fair.
So I wonder how much of it is that.
Well, but also, how many people have Game Pass versus have Left 4 Dead on Steam just in their library?
People just have it because they've been giving that game away for like a decade.
It was like $2.
Yeah.
And it's been like those games have been part of like every Humble Bundle or damn near, which is interesting.
And Back 4 Blood's a $60 game.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I want to play more Back 4 Blood, but I will only play that with other people. That's a strictly multiplayer game for me.
Yeah.
I've only played with other people I know.
I don't even think I have it installed, honestly. I'll look.
Yeah. But yeah, did you have anything else to say about Back 4 Blood now that you've played it a bit more? Or
I'm almost done with it, as in like I've almost beaten the campaign. I don't know what to call it. And I would say that a lot of my fears have, I think about just the replayability have come to fruition, and that like I've replayed Act 1 a couple of times with different people, and it's always kind of felt the same, which is a little unfortunate. But at the same time, I haven't played on the harder difficulties, which add like what's the term, friendly fire, and stuff like that, and I feel like that might add to the drama. So I'm waiting until I do some of the harder difficulty stuff to see if like that adds to the experience. But as of right now, it's kind of like once I am done with like the campaign stuff, I feel like I'll kind of just be done like with the game, like unless they add a bunch of stuff, right? But right now it's just like I'm like, yeah, okay, I feel like I kind of have done it, if that makes sense, which is a little bit of a bummer. But like I would say I still enjoyed my time playing the game. I just
it's
wish
just not going to be one of those it's not going to be in the same level as the previous ones. There's
also a part in the campaign where you have to defend a bar from like you have a jukebox playing because you're trying to make a bunch of noise while like people like a block away are trying to like evacuate, and so you're trying to draw all the zombies to you, and it's this like horde mode inside of a bar. And we were all like, man, I kind of wish there was a mode like this that was like semi-random, like where we were doing this like wave after wave, because it actually required us to like tactically do stuff, and it was nice. But I am starting to think maybe that the easy difficulty is just like too easy, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll reserve final thoughts on that for a while. Yeah.
What were some of the other little things that you wanted to talk about this week?
Is anyone else playing Pikmin Bloom?
Nope, I haven't, because it came out and it's just been really cold.
That's fair enough.
Is that an outside game?
Oh yeah,
it's like Pokemon Go.
It's like Pokemon Go. It's from Niantic. I've been playing it. I downloaded it. I'm like a big Pikmin fan, so I downloaded it and I've been playing it, and like it's I don't want this to... Let me explain really quick before I say the next thing I'm going to say. It's not really a game, and I hate when people say that. I hate when people say like, it's not even a game.
It's an experience.
No, it's just it's more like a lifestyle app that has Pikmin in it. But like,
if you were gonna pick a more pretentious thing to say, then it's not a game, it's an experience. It's not a game, it's a lifestyle.
No, I mean like That's
I
what they're
know
called.
what you
Like
mean.
when it's like
I
a
know what you
jog, you know, like a
Yeah.
jogging thing or whatever.
Yeah.
It's more
fitness,
like that.
wellness sort of
It
thing.
has like the Pokemon Go UI. It has like, oh, take steps to like hatch eggs, but instead you're growing Pokemon or not, you're growing Pikmin. And it has like all these things that are very similar, but it lacks like all the other things that Pokemon Go has. There's nothing competitive in it whatsoever. There's not like raids or anything. You're literally growing Pikmin and you're sending them out on like little expeditions to get you fruit and stuff so that you can grow more flowers. And then when you walk, you're basically just growing flowers around your neighborhood.
So
That's it.
Is the end game that the Pikmin pick you up and put you in a
I'm
little spaceship with
I'm
Jeff
gonna be
Bezos?
frank. I don't think there's an end game at all. I think it's literally you just do this until the end of time.
And then flowers are just
And
all
all
over.
of this sounds super negative, but I've been playing it every day.
So you don't get in a spaceship
No,
off planet. Okay.
it's none of that. It's like your neighborhood and where you walk, like you grow flowers. And so you'll see like also where other people walk and like where there are flowers around your neighborhood. So when the game first came out, there were basically flowers by my house because I've been packing my house. So I was basically just walking around my house. And then there was like our park nearby had some, you know? And then there's like bigger flowers that if you grow flowers around them, they bloom. And I don't know what happens because I haven't done that yet. But
Do you know what level you're at in the game?
like level 11, I think.
Okay, I have a spoiler for you if you want at level 15.
Sure.
Harry says at level 15 there's raid-like bosses where you hit mushrooms. He unlocked it today and it's very odd.
That sounds odd but cool. I'm gonna keep on the grind then.
Rooms, baby.
But I have noticed that my neighborhood has like the flowers there's more. Like they've been like growing and stuff. And there's something about it got me thinking about not even just this game in particular, but like other games that have like all these things in them, have all these features. Like Pokemon Go has all these different features that have come because of, you know, just the game being around so long. And sometimes like you can add too much to a game, I feel like. And I'm not saying Pokemon Go is too much. I haven't played it in a long time, but like you know what I mean. Like you can kind of add too much, where like you kind of lose what it was.
Yeah.
And I feel like Pikmin. I keep wanting to call it Pokemon Bloom, but Pikmin Bloom. The thing that I kind of like about it is that it is just what it is. Like it's just a little thing that you log into and you see all your little dudes running around. And I have my like blue Pikmin with his Mario hat, and like. I send them on little journeys and they come back with postcards from my neighborhood. And when I walk the dog, I'm like growing flowers around my neighborhood. And I'm like, oh, cool. I planted like 100 today or something. And that's the game. But like, there's something kind of like nice about it in that there's no pressure to anything. I don't feel like I have to, you know, in Pokemon Go, it's like, what stats do you have for all these things? It's like, I just have a couple, like I got my red, my yellow, my blue Pikmin, and they're all here, right? And we're just growing flowers and walking around, right? That's it. And I feel like it's kind of nice. Like if that doesn't sound like something you want to do, I totally understand. But like at first when I started playing, I was like, is this really it? And then I was like, oh, it's kind of nice that this is just it.
like me with the Call of Duty campaign. Yeah.
How involved is it? How active are you on your phone when you're like out walking?
Not
like,
at all.
Good, because like that was my whole thing with Pokemon Go, where it was like you always knew when someone was playing that. Like you'd see somebody walk into a pole or like
that's the thing.
In a manhole cover.
This game, you don't have to look. You can. I don't look at my phone at all. Like you literally, you'll plant flowers just passively, like as you play. It connects to Google Fit also, so it tracks your footsteps and stuff.
That's cool.
So like you don't even have to have the game open to like be kind of playing it. It's always just kind of playing in the background.
Nice.
And like your Pikmin pick up stuff even in the background. Like you'll just be hanging out, or like you'll go through a day, you know, just doing normal stuff like you would do, and then you look at your phone and they're like, oh man, they found me like a couple of Pikmin seedlings, a lemon and a plum today. Like how nice, right? Like you don't have to be like spinning Pokestops all the time and stuff. There's also you collect like like flower petals basically to like, and they get in a jar, and then you can set it to like before I take my dog out, I'll turn the game on and I'll click this thing that's like start planting, and it gives you a like 10 to 20% boost on growing more Pikmin, but also you'll grow like whatever color flower you're using. And like I'll click that on and I'll just turn my phone off, and then I don't think about it the whole time. I'm like out. And then when I come home, I come back and I click stop, and then it shows you like a little GPS thing of where you walked and does all the little flower things around your neighborhood and stuff.
Boom.
Yeah. There it is.
There they are. Little
It's
boys.
it's just nice. I don't know. There's nothing like crazy about it. It just is what it is, and I kind of appreciate it for that. I'm sure like a lot of the Pikmin, like Pokemon people will be like, why would I play this when I'm like so invested in Pokemon Go? And it's like, that's fair. This
you
isn't
can keep playing that.
this isn't that. It's just kind of a thing that's there. And like the postcards you get from your Pikmin are actually really funny because they're like from places in your neighborhood, but they're all like in the picture, like doing stuff. I'll have to find some, but they're very funny, and you don't get them that often. And like I got like 4 today at once. I'd only gotten 1, and then all of a sudden it was like, here's 4 postcards, and I was like, oh my god, there's all these little ones. But yeah, it is what it is. But
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it for what it is. Like it maybe takes up 5 minutes of my attention every day, but it's just also like nice. I don't
It's
know.
a wholesome, fun thing to do.
Yeah, it's not even,
awesome.
yeah, it's just like a thing that's around, and I kind of appreciate it for that. I'm sure at some point, maybe they'll add a bunch more stuff and it'll get more complicated, but I kind of hope they don't. Like the simplicity to me is almost like its strength
Yeah.
in a way, and that it just kind of is, it is a thing that's here, right? But yeah, trying to find a postcard that's not going to like give away my location or anything. Here we go. No, that's not a good one. Whatever. We can move on to the next thing. But yeah. Here you go. Here's a good one. They're all standing in front of like a thing.
Oh, nice.
That's an actual thing. I don't know why my camera doesn't want to focus on it, but that's an actual thing in like my neighborhood.
Nice.
And like all the Pikmin are like, "Oh, I'm here."
Cool.
It's goofy. I like it though. I appreciate it.
Apparently, a lot of people that play Pokemon Go played Wizard Unite 2, and now they're moving
Yeah,
over to
yeah.
Pikmin. Yeah, that was the Harry Potter one.
Yeah,
they're actually
Wizard-
shutting that
Wizards
down next
Unite.
year.
Yeah, it's getting shut down.
Yeah.
It was I played it the first day it came out, and I was working at a GameSpot still, and I think even all of us were like,
I remember
like,
when
even the
that got
Pokemon Go
announced.
people were not like super into it.
Yeah, I remember that getting announced and being like, really? They're going Harry Potter? Okay. Like,
Mhm.
and I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and
Yeah, but like Pokemon is such a perfect fit for it.
right.
Yeah, and I'm a little impressed at how because they could have very easily made this game like basically another Pokemon Go, where like you're collecting spaceship parts and like doing a thing and fighting monsters and stuff, and it would have felt like that would have been cool. But this is just like, how do we do something like just not that, you know, like just how do we do like the Pokemon Go thing, but like do it kind of differently. And it does a lot of the same stuff, but it also does a lot of things that I think are like just very antithetical, I don't know, to it in a good way, not in a bad way.
No, I think the fact that they have them integrating with Google Fit makes me think that they're trying to treat it as more of like almost like a Wii Fit
Yeah.
thing. Like it's like this is a more of a experience than like a game that we want to suck dollars out of you for.
Yeah, it also asks like, I mean, there are like cosmetics and things you can buy, or like, you know, I can buy pots of flowers, or I can buy more Pikmin capacity, you know, or whatever. But yeah, it's interesting. I had a thought and then I totally lost it all of a sudden, but that's fine. But yeah,
good deal.
It's a neat little thing. Check
Pokemon
it out.
Bloom.
Yeah. Catch the fever if you're so inclined.
Yeah. Catch the mildly elevated temperature.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cute.
So one of the games that I recently beat was Roki, but we're actually going to talk about that next week, and we might have a guest or two to talk about that.
Oh, girl.
Maybe. Maybe. I got a few. The PR person that I interacted with who sent me the game, which I just to be clear and upfront, I did enjoy quite a bit. It's just like I want to talk about it with some other people, and they sent me some extra keys, so I'm waiting for some of those people to kind of catch up with either getting a little bit of time in so that we can have a discourse about it, or to beat it if they're into it, and then and then we'll talk about it then. Just because there's enough to talk about, but without getting into that. So, but I really enjoyed it. So, if that's something you've had your eye on, it is now on PS5 and optimized for Series X and S, but still available on Xbox One and I think PC and other stuff. Like it's available on a bunch
on
of
Switch, didn't it? Or am I making that up? That might be a different game.
Maybe, but now it's like current gen.
Yeah,
like,
on all the things.
That, so.
Yeah.
And I played it on PS5 and Series X. I ended up beating it on Series X and got almost all the achievements, and it's good. It's good. I'm looking forward to talking about it. But the game that I really want to talk about that I beat last night and cannot stop thinking about is Inscryption. Have you guys heard anything about this?
I saw Tom Marks reviewed it, and I read the description of it and went, this sounds like...
Wait, is this that roguelike game?
Actually, this sounds like a Joshua Mobley game from what I read.
Is it that horror?
It's a deck building
horror game, isn't it?
Horror roguelike. Yes.
So I did hear about this like right when it hit early access, and I read the description and was like, what in the world
Who made this
is
for
this?
me?
But like all the reviews were like, oh, it's so good. But I haven't given it a go really, or I haven't looked at it really.
So I'm going to tell you a couple of things about this game.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I will say is, and I'm not gonna break my own rule. Do not read about this game. Do not listen to people talk about this game, excepting me, of course. Just play it. Just play it. This game is a lot, and it's very good.
I like that. This game is a lot.
God, I kind of want to give people just one.
Give me the elevator pitch.
It's a roguelike. No.
Is there a story?
Yes. The trouble with this game is telling you almost anything concrete about it could be a spoiler. And this game is full of a lot of God. It is so difficult to not spoil anything about it because this game is layers and layers and layers and layers.
The IGN 10-point scale. Give us that. What do you rate it?
10.
Wow. Like no hesitation.
Let me tell you. This year, I played Return to the Obra Dinn, Dark Souls Remastered, Super Mario 3D World: Bowser's Fury, Donut County, Prey, Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, Toem, Hitman 3, Disgaea 6, Death's Door, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, Control Ultimate, Deathloop, Metroid Dread, and Inscryption is my game of the year right now.
Holy shit. What is it on? Is it only on PC?
On PC.
It's only on PC.
How much is it?
It's $20.
Fuck it. I'll buy it right now.
But I'm telling you, I read through that list of games, and some of those games you all know I've been waiting for. You all know that I have raved about.
It's in my wish list.
I would say it's so many games that we play are just, here's another one of those. Like, even like Hitman 3 is exceptional. The polish is so high. The creativity and replayability is so high. It's masterful. But
You've seen that song and dance before.
at the same time, Hitman 1 and 2 and Blood Money and Contracts and all of those games exist. Guilty Gear is really, really great, and it does some cool stuff that the series hasn't done before. But again,
it's another Guilty Gear.
It's another one of those. You know, you get like little novel ones here and there where it's like, hey, Florence, like, and that didn't come out this year. That's just a game that I played this year. Or like Unpacking. Or, you know, like there are games that come along that are Toem, where it's like, yo, this is like a little photography simulator, like adventure game. Like, what if Zelda, but you just take photos of stuff? You know, where it's like more novel. Like, this is that. Like,
this is that, in that it's like there's nothing else like it.
There are a few things like it, but there's like not fucking many. And I don't think there's, I've played a couple of games, man, maybe 1 or 2 games ever that was even close to like this. And I think this is the best one of these. So, yeah, it's, if you like, and I will say, like, I'm not a huge fan of deck building games. I am not a huge fan of horror games or like suspenseful games. I am not a big fan of roguelites. Like, I think I've said one is essential, and it's Hades, and that's basically, like, there are other ones that are good, but like there's only one that's like really, really, really good. But the thing about Inscryption is it's not just a deck building game. It is not just a horror game. It is not just a roguelite. And I think the only way to really do it justice is just to say, don't read about it. Don't, yeah, is to sing a song. Is just to tell you, this game rips ass. Catch the fever. Buy it now. Like, I asked for a review key for this game because Tom knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Like, well, Tom has always known what he's talking about.
Yes. And
he's gonna make it.
And
he's Tom Marks. He's gonna make it.
I think he's gonna make it at this IGN. I think he's gonna do it.
Yeah, he's gonna make it.
Yeah.
But Tom has put me on to a lot of very unique games. Tom is the reason why I played Return of the Oberdin. Another very unique game. And you can look at people like Lucas Pope, who made Return of the Oberdin, and you can look at his other games and be like, oh wow, like, and I think he do Forgotten City, or no?
I don't want to get into that answer.
Whatever, maybe not. But that's a game that was compared to like, oh, it's kind of like Return of the Oberdin. Like, it's like an interesting like take on something like this. Actually, I don't think that was him, because I think he was talking about a game that he was working on, but he hasn't. I don't think we know anything about it yet. But like, I definitely put more weight on games that are doing different things, and this is one of those. I cannot recommend it highly enough. It is probably not for everyone. I got annoyed or like a little bit confused at certain points as to like what to do, but I think I looked up like maybe hints like maybe once or twice, but like I really must say, like, try to keep the reading that you do about this game to the absolute minimum, because it is going to pay huge dividends for you if you just kind of poke around and see what this game is doing. I don't even know if you could do a spoiler cast about this game. But it's. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to tell you, if
Play it.
if my opinions and my critiques on games have earned me any credit or any weight with you, check this game out. So.
Okay. I will at some point. It's actually been on my Steam wish list for a little bit since I saw it, but hearing that it's great is great.
Okay.
I think if this sounds at all interesting to you, make this the next game you play. I think because we are going to have a discussion about this for our GOTY episode. For sure.
Whether you like it or not, I'm talking.
Whether you like it or not.
I mean, I am talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about it. So
I'll play it after the wedding. I'm not gonna start it before.
it's not that long.
Doesn't
I will
matter.
say the how long to beat says like 12 to 16 hours. It took me like 26 or 27 hours, but part of that was idling like during my like work day, like and like I paused it and tabbed out, but I don't know if it actually still counted those hours.
Gotcha.
I don't know how Steam tabulates that, but so it might be falsely inflated, but just know it's like it's not incredibly long. It's not super brisk, but it is definitely not a fucking 40-hour JRPG or whatever.
Well, that's a relief.
So, and it is a great game to play on your laptop while you're watching It's Always Sunny in
Enthusiasm.
Philadelphia, like I've been doing. But yeah, it's it rips. So that's your favor.
Good.
Inscryption. Inscryption spelled like inscription, like a scribe would do, but with a Y in the middle instead, so that the middle of the word says crypt. So creepy.
Okay.
But yeah, it's good. If there's a really one thing I will say that I don't like about it, and I don't know what else they would. I mean, I know something else they could do. I don't think that the game cover art for it looks very good or enticing. But there's a lot more to it. So
Cool.
there's a lot. And if
Sick.
you want to talk strategies, hit me up on Twitter at Ribnax, RIBNAX. Or hit me up on my DMs if you know me on Discord or whatever. Fun ass game.
Hit up them DMs.
Fun ass game. Chris, what else you got, bud?
Forza Horizon 5. So they did the
This
thing.
might be what I get into next, actually.
Oh, baby. So they did the thing where if you get like the premium edition or whatever, you get it on Friday, this past Friday. Because the game releases tomorrow, like proper on Game Pass and everything like that. Historically, every Forza Horizon game since 3, so the last 3 of them, they've put out, I've been like, I don't know. And then I always end up buying like the super ultimate whatever edition because I always like the DLC that they put out, like the Hot Wheels, the Lego, like whatever the case may be. So
I think
was
the
like,
only Forza Horizon game I ever played was the Fast and the Furious like free standalone thing.
Yeah, that
which
one
I
was cool.
loved.
Yeah.
I think I almost got every achievement in that. I think I only missed one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, they're
I've always meant to get into these, and I think this is going to be the one that I do.
Well, and that's what's interesting. Like I tend to play them for like a day or two, and then something else comes along, and then I don't think about it. This is all I want to play right now is Forza Horizon 5. I woke up Saturday morning. I played a little bit on Friday. Woke up Saturday morning and played for like a good 3 hours. There's something just very zen about the way that they have Mexico laid out and the way that they introduce different missions to you like throughout the game. Throughout at least the early portions of the game. They're very good at like not overwhelming you with what's there. And And
That's important in an open world game.
oh yeah.
Mhm.
And then they do a really good job of it's almost like a Mega Man type thing where they're like, hey, you have a credit to open up a new area. Do you want to open up more missions in this section of Mexico, or do you want to go to a different location on this map? And each location is like a different like biome basically of Mexico. They basically took like all of these recognizable locations and kind of like shoved them all in this like one map. So you have like a mountain area, you have a rainforesty, like jungle, or like woodsy, whatever area, whatever you want to call it. There's like the beach, there's a town, like a city kind of thing, all dynamic weather systems, day-night cycle. It can run at either, they have like a quality and performance mode. If you do the performance mode, it runs at a lock 60. The other one's 30. I actually played for probably a good like 4 hours in quality mode and was just appreciating how good the game looked, and then found out about the 60 FPS one, and now I'm like not going back because it runs just like super well. I haven't gone crazy with like customization. I really have just been kind of like buying whatever stock car that they have, and I'm just trying to build my garage as much as I can. But they have some interesting things in it that I don't remember the other Horizon games having. Like they added it's almost, I don't know what they call it, but it's like Destiny public events where you could be driving around in the open world and they could be like, hey, you can sync up with like 6 other drivers that are around here, and you have to see how many like jumps you guys can go off of in the span of like 10 minutes. And like it's a group effort of people just like trying to find ramps together in the world, and you'll just keep like launching, you know, your vehicles off of it and stuff like that. There's like a giant bowling pin one where you like drive to this location, and then all of a sudden it's like the whole spot is just filled with bowling pins, and you have to drive through them. Just like cool little mini games that they have kind of like dispersed throughout the world. But it's definitely like the best distribution of different content that I've seen from the Forza games so far. It's probably like, I by no means am I like an expert in the franchise, but it's definitely like one that it's the one that I haven't been this hype over a racing game since like Project Gotham Racing on 360, which was like way back in the day.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it was almost the
Wasn't that
definition
literally a
of back in the
launch?
day.
Yeah.
Wasn't that literally like a 360 launch title?
Yeah, Project Gotham
I'm pretty
3,
sure it was.
Yeah, it was. And there's actually a piece on IGM right now, I think Cardi did, that it goes through like the history of the Forza franchise and who all is like at Playground Studios. I didn't know it's like all these guys from Bizarre Creations that like they did Project Gotham, and the Burnout series, a bunch of those guys are
Is
there.
this just like a who's who of like all the great racing franchises?
Literally, that is the whole studio. I had no idea because he went through and like while I'm playing this game, I'm like, man, like I miss Burnout. Like I miss all these games that I start like thinking about and I haven't thought about in years. And I watched this video and he goes through it and I'm like, son of a bitch, they're all making this game. Like, this is why this game is so good. It's because they got all of the top talent to just make this like amazing car franchise.
That's dope. Like it's so crazy because back in the day, like the only racing series that mattered was Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
Like back in the like that was the one.
Yeah.
There was
then,
Need
like,
for Speed, but it didn't have the pull that.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was
and
like Underground 2, and Hot Pursuit were like the big 3. And then they really haven't.
And then you had all these offshoots. You had like Grid,
Midnight
and,
Club,
Rally, and then you have these like one-offs like Split Second.
Well,
Oh my
even
God,
Codemasters.
Split Second is so good though.
Yeah.
But that wasn't an Need for Speed game.
No.
No. I'm just talking about like a bunch
Just
of
racing games.
You got
But that's what's funny. Like if you go and watch that video, if you think of
Dirt.
seriously, you think of any of those franchises, you're like, what the hell happened to that? Yeah, that was a good game. Like they're making
all-
Forza.
Yeah, and now there's literally like it's gone full circle where it was just like for a while I didn't care about anything, and now it's like there's literally only one racing franchise that I care about, and it's Forza Horizon.
Yeah.
And like I dipped into Forza Horizon 3. I dipped into, I think the first like Forza game I played was Forza 7. Just because like I think they gave it out with gold.
Yeah,
And that was like right
gave it
after
out
I
with
had like my Xbox One or whatever. Then I like tried that. Or 5? Which one? Whichever Forza came out with the Xbox One, was the one that I tried, and I was like, I'm done with sim racers.
Yeah.
And then like Horizon 3, and I was like, holy shit. And then I like tried that, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. And whichever one was in France, was that 4? Or was that 3?
I think that was 3.
Okay. So 3, which I think is a 360 game actually on back compat.
Yeah.
But I played it on Xbox One, and it still looks awesome. Like it looks really good.
No, a lot
And
of them they've always been like a tentpole franchise of like, this is the power of this console that you know, is currently out. I will say this, graphically, it's a step up. It's not that much of a step up from Forza Horizon 4. So if you played that on Series X and you know what that looks like it is largely the same. Some of the particle effects are better, but like I think if you did a side by side, you would know. But if you like played the two back to back, you'd be like, I have no idea.
It's not night and day because Forza Horizon 4 still looks amazing.
Yeah, that game looks incredible.
Yeah.
And they optimized it really well for Series X. The other thing I wanted to bring up was I was a huge MotorStorm fan on PS3, and they stopped making those after Apocalypse because of the tsunami that hit and all that good stuff. That franchise just kind of went away. The off-road races that are in this game, at least the ones that I've done so far, feel a lot like the way that they did in MotorStorm, and that's like, it's the highest praise I can give. Because like whatever.
So is this like the definitive open world racing experience? Do you think?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Like they gave it a 10, and I was like, it's a fucking racing game. Like, what do you mean? And like, I can't believe how badly I want to go play it right now. Like. It's great. I love it.
But so far you would agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like there haven't been, I haven't come across anything that I'm like, well, that's not great. Like I don't like that. The douchebag teenager in me that loved Need for Speed Underground is like, man, it'd be cool if I could put like LEDs on the bottom of the car. And maybe you can, I don't know. Like I haven't looked into any of
Put
that.
a PS2 in the back.
Yeah. I want to pimp my ride.
You want to pimp your ride?
Yeah. If they could put Xhibit in Forza Horizon 5,
Where is that guy?
forget about it. I have no idea.
Dude, I was just not that long ago. I think it was when everybody was talking about Fred Durst's like dad cut or like dad beard or whatever.
Yeah.
But I went back and listened to what is it, Chocolate Starfish or whatever.
Yeah.
And the song that like the what is it, like Rollin' Air Raid or whatever, where like Xhibit does like a bit on it. Like he has like a verse on it, and it's like so good.
No, like
Oh, he's on that show Empire. That's what he's doing now.
oh, there you go. No, I mean he like there was a reason he was on MTV. Like he wasn't just a meme, you know, for his whole career.
Yeah. Although I do love that meme. That's a great meme.
Oh yeah.
Yo, dog, I heard you like.
So
So
we
good.
put this thing in this thing.
Yeah. So you can X while you X, whatever. X to
PS2
the
in
Z.
the back.
Yeah.
To you.
Man. 3
all I
generations later. Good luck finding a PS5 to put in the back of your car.
Yeah.
But yeah, did we have anything else?
No.
You can get
I mean-
a Doom and Banjo-Kazooie horn in Forza Horizon 5. I got the Windows 11
Greatest game
startup
ever?
sound. Greatest game ever.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Cool.
Good stuff. Did you have anything wrap up thoughts, Josh? Or are we good?
No, I think we're good for now.
Cool. Well, let's wrap. So you may have been a little bit perplexed if you went straight from the last episode to this one. Wait a second. Did he say that it's episode 205? I did say it's episode 205. To right a long-standing wrong. We actually skipped because the last episode we recorded was 202. But this is the 205th episode of this podcast. So episode 200.
Did you go through and count?
Yeah.
So wait, now what?
So now we just skip from 202 to 205, and that's just it. But now, whatever we say the episode number is the whatever numberth episode of the show that I say it is.
Numberth.
It's like Windows 9.
200, yeah.
Didn't happen.
Episode 200 wasn't actually the 200th episode of the show. Because
so we lied.
Because before our numbering was off, but we fixed it now.
Okay.
But we fixed it.
Okay.
So,
what was 200?
Well, the last episode was 202, and that was the 204th episode. So I think that episode 200 was actually episode 202. The reason for this was the first episode of this show that we published is episode 2, and then we had a couple of special episodes that we didn't number.
Right.
So like some of our spoiler casts, I don't like there were a couple of them, and I just didn't put a number on them because I was like, oh, these are just going to be like side episodes. And sometimes we did them in addition to our regularly scheduled episode, which is why I didn't number them, because we would have skipped ahead. It would have been weird. But when we're scheduling, I want to know from now on that the episode number is the episode number. So I was just like, fuck it. We started on episode 2. We're skipping 3 episodes. It's 202 to 205. And that's just what it is. But from now on, it'll be right.
Okay.
So thank you for joining us for the 205th episode of this podcast that we've published. Because I guess technically there were other ones that we didn't publish.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've got thoughts that you want to share with us, you can find us all together at Platformers Pod on Twitter and other social media places. I am making a return to Facebook to reconnect with a bunch of people. So if you have Facebook, you can hit me up there. I guess search Brian Barnett and you'll recognize me. On Twitter, you can find me at Ribnax, RIBNAX.
You can find me on Twitter at the Jawa Josh, and if you want to see all the cool video essay stuff I'm working on, you can go to youtube.com/mediaismythic.
You can find me on Twitter at Shrives93.
Wasn't ready.
And Instagram and everything else. No, I'm laughing because a friend of the show, Sam Adams, just updated his profile pic, but it's the same picture that was his profile pic. He just changed the background, and the tweet literally says, #new profile pic. Surprise, it's still drunk me with a fake mustache, but now with in front of a Halo Reach wallpaper. Please enjoy. Thank you.
Oh my God.
I love it.
I love that, man. But yeah, you can catch me wherever. I don't know. I'm on the internet.
Wherever, I don't know.
Shrives93. Catch the fever.
Mm-hmm.
Catch the fever.
Catch the fever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you want to see the stuff that I'm doing, then check out the IGN guide for Call of Duty Vanguard and Far Cry 6. I actually did the entire video capture for the video walkthrough for Call of Duty Vanguard.
Nice.
So that is edited and up now. You can get through the entire game. I'm still working on the written guide, getting that up. The first 2 chapters of that are up, but the entire video walkthrough is done. So if you need some help, you need some advice, you need to figure out how to do stuff, check it out. That's what I've been up to. Yeah, please review us on your podcast platform of choice. I know a lot of you listen on Apple, so please give us a good review there. If you like the show, you can catch us as we stream this on video at twitch.tv/theplatformerspod, and then later when it gets archived at youtube.com/platformerspod, thanks to the illustrious Chris Shriver. From everybody here at the Platformers, we hope that you have an incredibly wonderful, delightful, and joyous week. And stay safe out there, because until next time, we are out.
Bye.